Welcome to the Jeep Dive. Sometimes I wish I could just download the main points of a book straight into my brain.
Yeah, I hear you.
But that's where Mindful Moments comes in,
Yeah.
right? Using this cool AI narration, they kind of break down these massive stories
Right.
into smaller pieces, perfect for, when you're on the go. So today we're taking that approach with A Breath of Snow and Ashes by Diana Gabaldon.
Okay, cool.
Now picture this. A burning cabin in 18th century North Carolina. It's the starting point of this epic tale of time travel and romance and hardship.
Wow.
Centered around Claire and Jamie Fraser, who've built a life for themselves on this very wild frontier.
This book really goes deep. It's not just a historical romance. It dives into the human psyche.
Yeah.
Gabaldon blends historical facts with fictional storytelling, and it transports you to this settlement on the brink of revolution. And that fire you mentioned, that's the spark that sets off a chain of events,
Right.
testing Claire and Jamie's love and resilience in ways they've never experienced before.
The community at Fraser's Ridge is reeling from this fire. They're trying to rebuild, understand what happened, support those who've lost everything.
Yeah.
And it's in this moment of vulnerability that Claire's role as a healer becomes really vital.
Claire's medical knowledge from the future clashes with the 18th century's reliance on superstition and folk remedies.
Oh, wow.
It's fascinating. You have this woman out of time navigating a world where her advanced practices are met with so much suspicion.
Yeah, I can see that.
And this tension goes beyond just healing. It highlights a clash between progress and tradition, embodied in Claire's very presence.
It's interesting how just when the community is at its most vulnerable Major MacDonald arrives with news that hints at the growing political unrest in the colonies.
Oh, yeah.
This is where the story begins to weave in the American Revolution, adding this whole other layer of complexity to their lives.
The revolution isn't just background noise. It becomes this force demanding choices and sacrifices from everyone.
I see.
Including Claire and Jamie. Think about it. They're trying to build a life to find some peace. And suddenly everything around them shifts, threatening to tear their world apart. Gabaldon really creates this palpable tension.
And then you have Tom Christie entering the scene.
Right.
A newcomer with his devout and enigmatic nature that really adds a layer of moral ambiguity to Fraser's Ridge. His arrival almost feels like a foreshadowing of the storm that's about to break.
Christie disrupts the fragile equilibrium of the ridge. His strict moral code introduces conflict and tests the community's tolerance.
It makes you wonder.
It does. It makes you think, how far can beliefs be pushed before they shatter?
Then things take a dark turn when Lionel Brown and his men appear. This leads to a shocking act of violence that leaves a scar on Fraser's Ridge.
Right.
Both physically and emotionally.
This violence shatters any sense of safety and exposes just how vulnerable life on the frontier truly is.
It's true.
The attack goes beyond physical harm. It forces everyone, the characters and the reader, to confront the darkest parts of human nature.
This is where we see Claire's incredible strength and resilience. She's taken captive by Brown and endures a horrific ordeal that really tests her spirit.
Imagine being ripped from your home, stripped of your security, and subjected to that kind of cruelty.
That's awful.
Claire's experience really brings out her inner strength, her refusal to break even in the face of unimaginable trauma.
Wow.
But it also leaves this deep wound, a psychological scar, that will have a profound impact on both her and Jamie.
The aftermath of the attack sends shockwaves through the entire community. Suspicion and fear spread like wildfire, making everyone question who they can trust.
Gabaldon doesn't shy away from the lasting effects of trauma. It's not just about surviving the event. It's about dealing with the emotional fallout, the shattered sense of safety, and the erosion of trust that can poison even the strongest bonds.
Then you have Malva Christie Tom's daughter. She becomes entangled with the Frasers, adding another layer of complexity to an already tense situation.
Malva's arrival is like throwing a lit match into a powder keg. Her youth and seemingly innocence mask a web of secrets and desires that will have devastating consequences for everyone involved.
Her story ends in a tragic death, shrouded in mystery.
Right.
The community struggles to assign blame, trying to unravel the truth from a tangle of rumors and half-truths.
Think about it. A young woman is dead, and suddenly everyone at Fraser's Ridge becomes a suspect and a detective.
It's true.
It throws the community into chaos and forces the reader to examine the roles of prejudice, perception, and the dangerous allure of secrets.
The truth behind Malva's death is shocking, to say the least.
It is.
It exposes a web of jealousy, revenge, and hidden relationships, revealing the dark underbelly of this seemingly idyllic frontier life.
This revelation goes beyond just finding a killer. It's about understanding the complex motives that drive people to extreme actions.
Right.
Gabaldon skillfully peels back the layers of social decorum to expose those raw, primal emotions simmering beneath the surface.
This discovery leads to a confrontation between Jamie and Tom Christie. Their deep resentment and conflicting beliefs, which have been simmering since Christie arrived, finally boil over.
This confrontation is more than just a clash of personalities. It's a battle of ideologies, of faith versus reason, of tradition versus progress. It forces them, and us, the readers, to confront the limits of tolerance and the enduring power of personal conviction.
The resolution of this conflict leaves the community reeling. They're left to pick up the pieces and find a way forward, grappling with themes of forgiveness and reconciliation.
The aftermath of this conflict leaves a sense of unease. The community might have survived, but the scars remain.
I can see that.
It makes you wonder, can forgiveness truly heal such deep wounds, or are some divisions just too vast to bridge?
And all of this unfolds against the backdrop of the looming revolution, a constant reminder that personal struggles can be dwarfed by the tides of history.
The revolution adds a layer of urgency and tension. It forces the characters to confront their loyalties, their beliefs, and the sacrifices they're willing to make for a future that remains uncertain. A breath of snow and ashes doesn't sugarcoat things, you know? It shows us the harsh realities of frontier life: childbirth, illness, violence, death.
It's all there, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's definitely not a romanticized version of the past.
Right.
But even with all the darkness and struggle, there's this persistent thread of hope and resilience.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how they find the strength to keep going.
That's what's amazing about the human spirit, isn't it? Even when faced with seemingly impossible challenges, these characters adapt, they persevere, they find meaning in their lives. It's a really powerful message about our potential as humans.
Think about what Claire goes through during her captivity. The physical and emotional abuse, the isolation, the constant threat of violence.
I know. It's almost unimaginable.
It is.
But she never truly breaks. She uses her intelligence, her medical knowledge, and her sheer willpower to survive. It's a true testament to her spirit and a reminder that even in the darkest moments, we have this inner strength.
It's inspiring, for sure. It shows us that even when stripped of everything, we can find a way to endure.
Exactly.
But what about Jamie? How does he cope with the trauma of Claire's captivity and the growing unrest around them?
Jamie is a warrior, a man of action, but he's also deeply sensitive and compassionate.
I see.
He carries his own past traumas, but finds solace in his love for Claire and his commitment to his family and community.
Their relationship is the anchor of the story.
Absolutely.
They face life's challenges together, support each other through everything.
It's a true partnership.
Right.
But it's not always easy. They argue, disagree, make mistakes, but their love is constant.
It's beautiful.
It really is. It's a source of strength and stability in a world that often feels unpredictable and chaotic. It's a love that can withstand anything.
Speaking of challenges, the revolution is like this underlying tension throughout the story.
Oh, yeah.
Threatening to disrupt everything they've built.
All right.
How do they deal with that uncertainty?
The revolution isn't just an abstract idea. It forces them to make difficult choices.
Sure.
To choose sides. Will they stay loyal to the crown or fight for independence?
That's a tough one.
It is. It makes them confront their values, their beliefs, their hopes for the future.
It's about allegiance, identity, and the consequences that come with those choices. It makes you think about the sacrifices people make for their convictions.
It does.
The courage it takes to stand up for what you believe in, even when the odds are against you.
The revolution isn't just about historical events.
Right.
It's a way for us to see these characters face their own personal revolutions. Their internal struggles mirror the bigger societal changes.
I like that.
It adds depth and meaning to the whole story.
It reminds us that history isn't just about dates and battles.
It's about people.
Real people.
Trying to understand a world that's constantly changing.
Their stories allow us to experience these moments not as distant events, but as real lived experiences.
Yes. Full of emotion and drama and connection.
Gabaldon captures the complexities of that era so well.
She does.
There are no easy answers, no clear heroes or villains.
Everyone has their own reasons for fighting their own beliefs, their own motivations.
It makes you challenge your own assumptions.
For sure.
Consider different viewpoints, even if you don't agree with them.
It's challenging, but it's what makes the story so captivating.
It's like stepping back in time and experiencing history firsthand.
With all its imperfections.
Right. It's an invitation to empathy.
And through that experience, we gain a deeper appreciation for the people who came before us.
Yes. We see their choices, their sacrifices, and how those actions shaped our world. So what does all of this mean for us here in the 21st century? How can we connect with Claire and Jamie's experiences?
That's the beauty of this book. It goes beyond time and place. It speaks to these universal themes.
Like what?
Love, lost resilience, the search for meaning. Those are the threads that connect us all.
It makes you think about the importance of human connection.
It does.
The power of love to help us through difficult times and the strength we find within ourselves.
It encourages us to find our own inner strength, to face our fears, to overcome challenges. And most importantly, it reminds us that history is a living story.
Right.
A story that still influences who we are and how we see the world.
Gabaldon's writing is so vivid and evocative.
It is.
You really feel like you're transported back in time.
Yeah.
You're experiencing everything right alongside the characters.
It's like a sensory overload in the best way possible. You can practically smell the wood smoke, taste the food, feel the mountain air.
It really is an escape.
It is.
Into another world that feels both familiar and strange. It leaves a mark on you.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
Right.
There's so much more to explore.
What about the other characters?
Exactly. They're not just background noise. They're complex individuals with their own stories.
Like who?
You have Brianna, so loyal and devoted. And then there's Roger, mysterious and troubled.
I see.
They add so much depth and complexity to the narrative.
It's like everyone has their own unique journey.
They do. They each face their own trials, navigate their own paths, and contribute to the richness of the story.
It shows us that even the smallest characters can have a big impact.
Absolutely.
On the story and on our understanding of the world. Every life matters.
Exactly. And through their individual stories, we gain a deeper understanding of the broader themes: family, community, survival, identity, love, loss. It's all there, waiting to be uncovered.
It's a book that you can read again and again.
It is.
And find something new each time.
Yeah.
But we want to hear your thoughts.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on the book so far? What speaks to you? What are your favorite moments? What questions do you have?
Let us know.
Share your insights. Join the conversation on social media. Let's explore this incredible story together. We've talked about the hardship and the resilience and the looming revolution, but there's this other layer to A Breath of Snow and Ashes that we haven't really explored.
Time.
Claire's journey through the standing stones, her ability to move between centuries. It adds a whole other dimension to the story. It's like this portal to another world, both familiar and completely alien.
I see what you mean.
And it raises these questions about fate and free will and the very nature of time.
It makes you think, doesn't it? Imagine being taken from your own time and thrown into a past that feels both familiar and foreign at the same time.
Exactly.
Claire's journey isn't just about physical travel, it's about self-discovery. It's about figuring out who she is in this new world.
But her presence in the past isn't just random. It's a catalyst for change and growth and transformation.
That's a good point.
She brings her modern knowledge and her perspective to the 18th century, and it challenges the status quo.
It disrupts everything.
It does.
Yeah.
It influences the course of events in ways that she couldn't have imagined.
Think about it. Her medical knowledge, her views on social issues, even her simple acts of kindness.
They all have an impact.
They do. They create these ripples that spread out, affecting not only her life, but the lives of everyone around her.
It's fascinating how one person, even a time traveler, can have such a lasting impact on history.
It really is.
But it's not just about the big events, the battles, and the politics.
Right.
It's about those smaller moments, the lives she touches, how even the smallest actions can change the course of history.
Gabaldon doesn't shy away from showing the emotional and psychological impact of time travel either.
No, she doesn't.
Imagine being torn between two worlds, two identities, two sets of loyalties.
It's a constant struggle.
It is, trying to reconcile the past with the present, the familiar with the unknown.
But Claire adapts. She learns, she grows, she finds a way to build a life for herself in this new time.
She forges these deep connections.
And leaves a mark on everyone she meets.
It's a testament to her resilience and adaptability, to her ability to find purpose and meaning, even in the most extraordinary circumstances.
It's a powerful message about our capacity for growth and transformation as humans.
It is.
But beyond the time travel and the historical drama at its heart, A Breath of Snow and Ashes is a love story.
Absolutely.
The love between Claire and Jamie is the core of the narrative.
It's the driving force.
It's a force that transcends time and circumstance. A beacon of hope in the midst of darkness.
It's a love that's epic, passionate, all-consuming, the kind of love that makes you believe in soulmates and destiny.
It's the kind of love poets write about.
Exactly. But it's not a fairy tale.
No, it's not.
It's complex and messy. It's full of challenges and obstacles.
They fight, they disagree, they hurt each other.
But their love never wavers. It's a love that's been through so much.
It's been tested by fire.
And it's come out stronger. It reminds us that true love isn't about perfection.
It's about acceptance.
Forgiveness and commitment, even when things get hard.
It's a love that evolves and deepens and adapts to the circumstances of their lives.
They grow together.
Face challenges together.
And their bond becomes stronger each year.
It's a beautiful thing. And that's what makes their story so compelling.
So relatable.
It reminds us that true love can endure anything. It can overcome any obstacle.
Yeah.
And in the end, it triumphs.
But there's another layer here that we haven't talked about yet.
What's that?
The spiritual and philosophical side. A Breath of Snow and Ashes isn't just romance and adventure.
I see what you mean.
It grapples with bigger questions about faith and destiny, free will, the meaning of life.
It makes you think about your own beliefs.
It does. It makes you examine your choices and think about the things that shape our lives.
It stays with you long after you finish reading.
It does. We could talk about this book for hours.
We could, but we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts? What resonated with you? What are your favorite moments? Do you have any burning questions?
Share your insights with us. Let's keep the conversation going.
Join us on social media, and let's explore this incredible story together. And don't forget to check out Mindful Moments.
Our partner for this episode, their AI narration is amazing.
It is. It's perfect for anyone who loves books, but doesn't always have a lot of time to read.
You can experience A Breath of Snow and Ashes anytime, anywhere.
You can find the link to purchase the book and explore Mindful Moments in the show notes. And be sure to subscribe to our channel and share this episode with your friends. Until next time, happy reading.